Right, Gourmet to the stars. Oops, you can't see me there. Seed. I ought to mention this actually. That seed is just it's just an acronym. Head up to the camera. I don't know if that's focusing all right. Okay. In fact, this is scene 13. Hijacked by a Gyrobike. Characters are Lory Gato and a Gyrobike bot. A crazed one. Well, maybe not actually. Finally, away from the small mall, I walked briskly between walls of cattle. An empty spaceport lay on either side. Cattle, like the better known and commonly used Penang product. I'll try this one again. I really ought to get this better. Go on, let's leave it in, leave it in. The commonly used Penang product, plexihar, protected against blast waves from the emissions of spacecraft. Landings and launches. I fumbled in my pocket. Where was my private key? I wouldn't be opening the message without it. I sweated. My mind was now changed. The sooner I was off this planet, the better. Being asked to not spy. Did Scarface think I was an idiot? A moment's reflection told me all I needed to know. No matter how it was painted, his proposal would land me in big trouble. I was a guest. All here on this planet could be said to be my hosts, but it was the Tanegi to whom we all answered to. He was asking me to break house rules. Why would I do that? Yet I found it difficult to come up with wriggle room on what him and his earthers had expected me to do. Scarface's final parting words rumbled in my head. A word of advice: don't let them get too close to you, where they can play their tricks. If you're not careful, you'll be used. When it comes to it, they'll hang you out to dry. Just be certain who your friends are. Don't forget where your loyalties lie. The easiest way of dealing with this was to not be there when they came calling. The message from Seed, that's C-E-A-D, was my ace in the hole. It could only be a reassignment. If it was, I'd be shouting, "Bingo! Lucky number matched!" My ticket out would be on the next train, plane, or junk of any description, and it'd be taken up first opportunity. Stuff my expenses claim. All I needed was my private key. I upped my pace. So where was it? It wasn't on my person, so it must be back at Guest House Gourmet. Always brought it along. I ran my mind back to the start of the day. Could I remember if I'd decided not to bring it along? Not the kind of thing I would forget. The pedestrian exit from the spaceport was approaching. I'd be back soon enough. My mind turned to Scarface's claim he could get me off planet. I couldn't see any spaceships in port. It was hardly as if Earth had an Earth fleet. Apart from in-system tugs and a few gravity well ferries, Earth had nothing. Would they just conjure one up? I stepped into the cold but carefully moderated air of Colony 1. Better take a Gyrobike. I looked around for a comm point. Before I had time to think, one shot into view and pulled to a halt by me. "Please mount vehicle." Well, that was fortuitous. I settled myself. The passenger force field powered up and the bike shot off. Hold on. Don't I get a destination first? Has it read my mind? I cleared my throat and announced, "Guest House Gourmet." The silence was in my court now. What was happening? Even after my short stay here, I knew which way we ought to be headed. We weren't. The force of acceleration pushed me back. I was used to wandering the streets on my feet. "Hey!" I called. No answer. "Hey, auto guy!" There were other, less savoury names used for robot life forms. They ran through my mind. I didn't use them. Was he using a shortcut? I doubted it. "Hey, auto guy, where are we headed?" Shrouded shadows of buildings raced past. I felt the embarrassed silence of the bot's driver. Come on, man. How about artificial life form? More appropriate, I guessed. I stayed with standard. Treat them as people and you get further. The Gyrobike driver broke its silence. One important destination first. Artificial life form, apologies, it added. All become clear soon. I am messenger. No little. Of course it knew something. It had picked me up. It had been hired. That, however, was a matter of perspective. I tried to make sense of it all. Club in Al was closed. Was there a similar difficulty with other human hangouts? My broken engagement, the message from Seed, my missing key, were they all connected in some fashion? The Earthers, well, okay, maybe they weren't Earthers, but in all but name, that's what I got. And now this unplanned trip. This was beginning to feel cloak and dagger. Was it though? Or was I just imagining stuff to make things seem mysterious? Whatever the answer, it had sure sparked up my life. So what can you tell me? Nearly there now. All answers soon. The metronome voice really did need a fix. The Gyrobike pulled to a halt and the force field powered down. I climbed out and looked about.